joined by the international relations expert Ahmed Al-Anani from Cairo. Welcome to Qnews, sir. Sir, how effective can President Trump's ongoing talks be in achieving a Gaza ceasefire and detainee release, given the deep mistrust in stalled negotiations following Israel's attack on Qatar?
Well, I'd like to welcome you and to your audience. Of course, these American seeks are important on different levels. And actually, there is a great fury against these practices, again, the U.S. and the Israeli practices that do not respect international law. So there has been pressure on the American side, and I'd like to add that there is an international shift, European shift from the Middle East to the European side. So I do not. I think there is pressure on the U.S. administration, and they have now to coordinate stances between the actors regionally or internationally. I think Trump's efforts need to impose a Arab and regional vision, putting into consideration the peace of the region, allow withdrawal of Israel, guarantee of aid delivery, to have flexibility to move from south to the north once again. There is a large numbers of people in the south. So I think the return to the north has to be of concern to the U.S., especially that Israel doesn't want to withdraw completely from Gaza.
Sir, what does Colombian President Gustavo Petro's call for an international force to free Palestine reveal about shifting global sentiment towards U.S. policy in the conflict? Sir, what does Colombian President Gustavo Petro's call for an international force to free Palestine reveal about shifting global sentiment towards U.S. policy in the conflict?
There is furious sentiment regionally and internationally, but we have to say that meeting this crisis or combating Israel's stubbornness is by pressure, diplomatic pressure. As the President Sisi said, he said about the extension of crisis. Here we tackled the Arab countries. When we have combat to Israel, there will be destabilization to the country, to the region. So we can use this card to pressure on put pressure on Israel, and this has been made by the Gulf as an example. Gulf countries, there is direct investments by between Donald Trump and Saudi Arabia. So I think Middle East has the tool to with the strategic solutions to end the war diplomatically, but political solutions will give Israel more space to aggression. So I think we have to shrink this attempt to have pressure. As a result, there is an American movement. Now we still have, say, real safeguards to not re-attack and continue the operations, safeguard to allow safely aid delivery and reconstruction. I think the infrastructure was completely destroyed in Gaza. So I think we have to regain the life, to enter the gas, to rebuild hospitals and health system as hospital, Kamal Adwan Hospital and others were completely destroyed. So this all requires Israel's withdrawal, and this is what regional countries are doing in coordination with the Western countries to make a change in the Prime Minister and to withdraw, to start a new level of reconstruction.
Sir, with Gaza devastated after nearly 2 years of war and tens of thousands killed, how realistic are current diplomatic efforts in achieving a ceasefire and rebuilding the Strip without addressing the root causes of the conflict, including the blockade and occupation?
I think this has two things. Two factors. First is rebuild the infrastructure. We have to know that there is legitimate authority, which is the Palestinian Authority. So I think they have to take over the responsibility of Gaza. So we have to put an end to the foreign interference and to the visions that are not aligned with the situation on ground, or some countries want to impose on Palestine. Palestine wants a Palestinian Authority to have reconciliation, to rebuild the interior, Palestinian interior. I'd like also to add the American pressure on Israel and Israel to commit in the upcoming period to withdraw completely. But in regards to the criminal court, there is some cases filed against Israel, and this crime, they will not go away with it. So they have to have political solutions inside Palestine or inside Israel. There is problems in Israel. Between Yair Lviv, the far right, and Ben Ghafir. So there is problems inside Israel. So the Israeli stubbornness, and on top of which is Netanyahu, is his concern to leave power. So therefore, there is possibility that the U.S. may interfere inside Israel to have Israeli solutions to end the authority of this administration and to put political solutions, because the lack of political solutions inside Israel impacts Netanyahu's existence and insistence on his ways. Mediators can play a great role in this regard. The Arab League and others, so they may solve the issue inside Palestine. On the other contrary, we have to have pressure, the U.S. pressure, U.S. vision, and Trump, who promised an end to this war. All the Middle East want an end to this war. First of all, ensuring not a reoccurrence of Israel to aggression, and the next day is governance to Palestinians and not to any other non-Palestinian parties. This will be a red line on to the region, to the countries in the region, on top of which Egypt that doesn't want any interference and condemns any interference in the region.
That was Ahmed Al-Anani, the international relations expert from Cairo. Thank you very much for joining us.